Okay, taking off from Shell Harbour in the Bell 407. Let's see. Need a lot of left pedal there. See if I can fly a straight line. Kind of. Right, let's head north east. Straight over Lake Illawarra. And we'll check out Port Kembla Steelworks. So we're heading of about 045. Get some forward speed up. Let's pull the collective up a bit more. Go through 60 knots. So this is Albion Park area just south of Wollongong. Lake Illawarra. And in a separate video I'll check out some of the historic aircraft that are preserved down here, some of them still flying as well. John Travolta's old 707, somebody's MiG-21, 747, and heaps of other cool stuff. Now it's hard to judge your altitude, I've got to say. Looking at that water. But I'm climbing according to instruments, so I'll be happy for that. Yeah, going through 750 feet. But 80 knots, 800 feet. Let's try to level out a bit. So, not using any trim at the moment, so I've got my leg basically holding left rudder in, and I've got an armrest. I've got a right-sided joystick here, Warthog. But I'm not actually using any muscle, I've just got it wedged. Got my elbow on the armrest, I just move that back and forward, change position of the joystick, and that's working pretty well. Of course, if you want to do longer flights, I would get all that stuff sorted out. But considering I wasn't even going to fly helicopters, not having the authentic control gear here, this will do for now. Check out the radio masts over there. That's an add-on from flightsim.to, adds all the radio masts in Australia, which is very cool. So we're doing about 100 knots, yep, 630 feet. I'll start to slow up in a minute. So we'll hit this corner of the Steelworks and we'll fly around clockwise. We'll start to slow up a bit as we come in over people's houses. I've got to say, at slow speed and low altitude, this photogrammetry does look sensational. And photogrammetry is not something I usually like at all. In fixed wing aircraft I think it looks kind of blurry and horrible. But this is pretty awesome. Okay, speed's coming back to 40 knots. 25 knots, 170 feet. Let's add some collective. Okay, so on the south end of the steelworks. So let's go clockwise. And look out for the power lines. So this guy Mamu, I mean, I think he should be employed by N.S.W and Microsoft, because what he's done with his power lines is incredible. So some a bit of a rail yard. Right, back to the steelworks. Just looking out for power lines coming across into the steelworks, but it looks pretty clear. So I'll just head up this internal road here. Looks pretty amazing. .46 knots, 70 feet. Okay, let's swing around. Pretty big car park. Now that looks big enough and flat enough, I might try and touch down here just for the practice. Down to 10 knots. I reckon if you land, under 10 knots should be able to skid forward a little bit, I guess. 5 knots. Six knots. Didn't it go backwards? It's always the last bit that's hardest. Now I recall in these chopper operations. I got reasonable, well, let's say average. See, I'm going backwards again. Whoa! Intake on helicopters, and a couple of years ago, and now it's coming back to me that one thing I should not do is try to talk. T-A-L-K when I'm landing this thing. Yeah, because that last few seconds is an absolute dance on the pedals and the collective. Okay, let's try to lift off and go forward. Right, enough of that. Yes, I've got pretty good rudder pedals, Thrustmaster Pendula. Not sure I could land this with anything less. Right, so let's check out the main structures over there. Now, of course, photogrammetry gives you this, I mean, there's supposed to be cranes, and the ship kind of melts the complex structures together, which, you know, if they put a few just stock, you know, normal cranes and ships here, and left all this photogrammetry, I think you'd have the perfect marriage. Because that looks great, and that kind of, you know, ruins it really. Anyway, on the positive side, the colours are fantastic. Iron oxide, Fe2O3 if I remember correctly. Lots of Australia is that colour actually. As we'll see when I get to the flights away from the coast. Probably in volume 2 of this series. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, well, we could spend hours playing in here, but I'll just go between a couple more structures and then head back to the airport. Checking out Buddhist temple along the way. It's very cool. Should take a few snaps while I'm here. Yeah, check out the machinery, the fans. Let's swing around. Get a couple of farewell shots. Camera. Camera. Not picking up. Camera. There we go. Let's get it. Let's get near this rusty stuff. Camera. 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 That's the way you say it. Camera. Camera. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay. Let's head west. Southwest really, around the lake, back down to the airport. Fantastic. Camera. Now watch the power lines here. Look at, there are a heap. I think there's a power substation over here somewhere too. That's incredible. Okay, let's head over to this substation. Here it is. Very cool. Righto, let's, yeah, power lines everywhere. Let's get some altitude up so I can try to spot the temple. So here's the main road, Prince's Highway. So should take us right past it actually. Yep, I'm pretty sure this is the right way. Anyway, we'll see. Let's get some speed up. .100 knots. Okay, must be a go-kart track, I'd say. Golf club. Yeah, so this is about 2 hours, 90 minutes drive south of Sydney. Very popular for a day trip, this whole area. Kangaroo Valley, which is part of this flight plan, is further south. Also very popular. Yep, this has got to be the Prince's Highway. Of course, when I take the recon photos, I'm flying at 1,000 feet. And at the moment I'm at 150 feet, so you get quite a different viewpoint. I think I remember that park, or the side of the hill where there's a clearing. I think it was somewhere near that. So this has got to be the Prince's Highway here. Yeah, because as you can see with the overpass, it kind of bypasses the whole road network of the town, because you use this, goes all the way to Melbourne from Sydney. So, no, this is not the right hill. Anyway, stay on this road. We've either gone past it or we're going to come up on it shortly. Either way, boy, there's so much to see. So, I mean, those backyards look awful small from up here, those little clearings, but I know you can land a helicopter in them, so something to practice. Yeah, we must have missed the monastery. I had a feeling it was a bit more to the close to the escarpment. I think we just swung slightly south of it, I think. There's power lines here with the little coloured balls on them. There are thousands of them. So yeah, so this Mamu guy is a bit of a genius. they definitely should hire him, give him a team, and we'll get all our lighthouses, power lines, you know, radio towers, all the main landmarks that we want sorted out in a few months. Okay, going back to the airport, I believe. Yep, there's the runway. Cool, so I'll land somewhere near the historic aircraft on the east. Okay, time to concentrate in a moment. So let's get a bit slower and lower. Doing 60 knots, 80 feet. Try to stay in taxiways, I guess. There's Neptune ahead, 747 over there, and there's a Catalina around the corner up ahead, but we'll park in here. Oh, there we go, helipad, that'll do us. Helipad. So you're probably supposed to taxi in there. Alright, let's get the feet on the pedals properly. Let's get the dance going on. Oh, that's a touch and a go. Emergency climb. Thinking, surely he wouldn't put that big pole right next to the helipad, surely. Okay. Maybe you do. Let's try from the other direction. And of course I can always land on the grass there. In fact, why don't we do that? And if I make it to the helipad, so be it. But you've got to concentrate. Okay, that was a touch. Yeah. Doesn't get much more rough than that. Anyway, that'll do. At least we landed in one piece. So there's Port Kembla Steelworks. Pretty cool.